Greetings, Gilliam the Rogue here, once again with a brief and basic video for the Magicka Nightblade. Today we're going to be talking about the beginner rotation. So this is a very simplistic one. It's going to do much less DPS than our other ones, but it will help players who are trying to ease into the Magicka Nightblade finally figure out how the hell to play this class, because it is still going to be pretty difficult comparatively to something like Magicka Sorcerer, mainly because the dependency on light attacks for resource management as well as shooting off your most damaging ability, which is Merciless Resolve. So with the beginner setup, we're going to be using Funnel Health because it's going to have a lot of healing and ulti-gen. If you are not comfortable with the stamina or the Magicka drain with it, you can use Elemental Weapon, but this ability is going to be harder to use than Funnel Health because it requires you to be able to perfect weave in between every ability. So that's why I'm not suggesting it in the beginner guide, because I'm going to assume that many players are not as comfortable with light attack weaving for this guide. It's not the target audience. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to drink our potion like we always do. We're going to let this run down to about 20 to 30 seconds so that we can drink it sooner in combat, so we never have to worry about resource management. We're going to have our buffs running, and then we're going to be managing our dots. So what we're not going to be doing is not running Trap Beast on our back bar, because it's going to be a little bit easier. Again, less DPS, but less stuff to manage. So with this, we're going to have a very simplistic rotation. So we're going to buff up with Leeching Strikes or Siphoning Attacks, then Ellie Drain, Merciless, shoot down this, do one light attack, and then we're going to go to our back bar. So our back bar is very nice. You're always going to go through the same order of going through each of these abilities every single time, and that's it. So this is a really nice, easy rotation, and you're going to get that Spectral Bow shot off every time on your front bar. Do some light attacks here, reapply our buffs. And notice how we're just going through the same static order. So we're going to be able to get 2 Spectral Bows off if we're light attacking perfectly. And we're going to go to our back bar, wall, cripple, siphoning every 2 bar swaps, and path. Shoot the Spectral Bow, reapply it. Now we're not going to get 2 bows because we have to go back and reapply our stuff. So this will require you to have a little bit more Magicka drain, because you are recasting your abilities a little bit sooner, because Twisting Path is a 12-second duration, but we're treating it like it's a 10-second, just because it's a little bit easier to manage. So what you can do with this build in terms of transitioning is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bar swap before reapplying Path, just because that way when we go to our back bar, we can just reapply it. So you can start to sneak in the dynamic portion of this rotation. I'll do it again right here. So when we go to our back bar, I'll only do Path or Blockade in that, shoot our Spectral Bow, and then when Path falls off, I'll go back and reapply it. So that's the dynamic portion. Otherwise, again, you can keep things simple by just going through the static order every single time. You just do wall, cripple, and then Path right away, even if the Path is up. So again, it's going to be a little bit more resource intensive because you are overcasting abilities with that, and Funnel Health does cost quite a bit now. So you can use that Elemental Weapon if you have access to it from Sigic Order. That will help out your sustain tremendously. Reapply our buffs here. When we get into Execute, we're only going to be worrying about shooting our Spectral Bow and reapplying Wall of Elements. We are not going to be applying Cripple. We're not going to be applying Twisting Path. All we're doing is Impale and shooting off that Spectral Bow. In this situation, we're going to keep up Elemental Drain as well, just because it's a really nice buff to have. Shoot the bow. We're going to do one more Execute, and boom, we're able to hit 43.5k. Probably could have hit 44k if I just kept executing, but you always want, once you're in Execute, you want to start using Soul Harvest over Fiery Rage instead, because you're in Execute, you're getting more damage amps. It really, really helps. But again, the beginner rotation, it's not like it's 10k DPS less than the dynamic one. It is a sizable difference. I would say about 5 to 6k in terms of comparing the perfect version of each one. So if you're like able to do it both perfectly, the beginner rotation will be doing a sizable less amount of damage, but it is much easier to understand. Again, what you're doing on your front bar is you're only managing your Merciless Resolve, shooting every 5th light or heavy attack, using Funnel Health in between, and then on your back bar, you're going through static order: Blockade, Cripple, Path, and then every 2 times you're on your back bar, you'll do Blockade, Cripple, Siphoning Attacks, and then Twisting Path. because it'll allow your twisting path to run longer and you'll get more resource management from this. You don't go through a static order of 1, 2, 3, 4 every time, because twisting or siphoning attacks has a 20-second duration. Since you're on your back bar every 8 seconds, if you go on your second one, it'll be at 16 seconds. And if you go, this will be your 17th second, your 18th, your 19th, and then your 20th second. So it'll be able to be up at 100% uptime. You get really nice resource management from it, and you'll just be doing better DPS. General. And then again, trying to transition between the two, what you can do is on your back bar, instead of going through all three with blockade, cripple, and twisting, you can do blockade, crippling, and then do about 3 or 4 funnel weaves on your front bar, then do twisting path, go back to your front bar, do 1 or 2 more funnel health, shoot off the spectral bow whenever you need to, then come back to your back bar, do blockade and crippling grasp. And then you're going to your back bar whenever you need to reapply either blockade and cripple or twisting path, but you will never do them all 3 in a row if you're trying to do the dynamic rotation. You'll get more DPS out of it. It'll be easier on your resources because you're not overcasting, but it will be harder to do in terms of things to keep in mind. So hopefully this has given you guys an idea of how to kind of ease into the Magicka Nightblade, as well as giving you some tips and tricks in terms of how to transition to a higher level once you're ready for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, but I'll see you guys next time.